What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to TVandme. I am of course Kevin, and it's that time again. It's time for The Walking Dead. What an interesting episode we had last week. First off, 3 of the prisoners died out of the 5. They were quickly taken care of by Rick. Well, one of them was taken out by one of the other prisoners, but the other 2, they were swiftly dealt with by Rick because they planned to betray him. One thing I've learnt about Rick is that he always gives you one chance, and if you fuck up, then he's going to dispatch with you. He gave Shane a chance when they were on the school bus, and he had a fight with him, but he came back for him, brought him back. But the second time he betrayed him, he dealt with it. Same goes for the prison guy. He took a swing at Rick with his machete. Had he left it there, I think maybe Rick would have given him a chance, you know, gave him a bit of a warning, but he threw the zombie down on him as well, and yeah, he signed his own death warrant. Rick did what he had to do to keep the group safe, to keep himself safe. And that guy didn't learn. Also last week, something happened which I forgot to mention in the previous review, and that was the fact that Carol was actually practicing doing a C-section because, of course, Herschel, who survived, yes, he may be able to take over now. I think Carol is still prepping in case Herschel doesn't recover in time to do a C-section on Laurie. But Carol's practicing doing a C-section on a zombie, on a dead corpse. I suppose it needs to be done, as disgusting as it was. And also in that scene where she was cutting open the zombie, there seemed to be someone peering through the bushes. Now, I meant to talk about this last week, and I was meant to segue into it when I was talking about Daryl and Merle, but I went off on some different tangent and completely forgot. But what I was going to say is, maybe that was Merle lurking in the bushes. Maybe that's Merle come back, you know. We'll probably find out in the next 2 episodes, I suspect, who's been lurking in the bushes and watching them. Hopefully they make themselves evident, but if that is Merle lurking in the bushes, I hope that he doesn't interfere with Daryl's character progression at the moment, because he's been outstanding, and the only thing Merle is going to do is going to confuse Daryl, is going to make him bring up bad memories, which is probably going to cause him to lash out at other people, the people he's grown close to, and I don't want to see that. Like I say though, Herschel did survive that whole incident, which I'm really happy about. I'm glad he didn't die. I had my fingers crossed, and I did actually worry at one point that he had turned and he had bit Laurie, but luckily that didn't turn out to be the case. And let's be honest, part of the reason Herschel survived was Carl. Even though he did something a bit silly and he went out on his own to the infirmary, he did save Herschel's life at the risk of his own, of course, but he got back, he got the equipment, he didn't get scratched, he didn't get bit, as far as we know. Oh my god, I just thought, what if he got bit or scratched and he hasn't told anyone while he was away? Damn. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, he went away, got the stuff from the infirmary, came back. Like I say, wrong method, right result, so can't really criticise him. He did what needed to be done. Hopefully Laurie has a word with him, or Rick has a word with him and tells him that, look, if he wants to go out and do something good for the group, then maybe tell someone so they can send someone with him, rather than going out on your own. You have to admit though, even though he's a young lad, he's capable. I mean, he puts down zombies when he needs to, he's getting these headshots, you know, he's getting equipment that's needed. He is young, he is a bit naive, but with the right guidance, hopefully he can turn into Glenn 2.0. So that's about it. We lost 3 prisoners. We've still got 2, they're in a different cell block. Laurie's got a baby on the way. Will Carol be able to do a C-section? And who's lurking in those bushes? I guess we'll find out in these next few episodes. Oh, actually, that might be that chopper we saw lead the zombies in Atlanta. Or if it was, it ain't going to be much longer. Oh! Jesus. Ah, so he uses the zombies as like pack mules to carry all their stuff. That's pretty smart. But how do they wear a rucksack? They've just got stumps where their arms are, will they just fall off? I'm never going to get used to seeing that. Oh well. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, did he get sliced in half by the like propeller blade? Oh shit. So it looks like we've got more survivors. Who are these guys? Jesus Christ. Oh fuck.
here, Shepherd?
Why did it ignore him? Maybe because they were still, not making any noise, I don't know. Oh, he's turning. We're gonna hear him. There we go. Fuck. Well, there goes a pack mules. To be fair, I didn't really like staring at them anyway.
It does it, girl.
Oh, fuck.
Mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Now,
That's Merle.
put down your weapons. Nice and easy.
That is
And let me
Merle's
see your
voice.
hands.
That is Merle's voice. I'm telling you.
Now spin around. Oh, holy shit. Blondie. Damn. You look good.
Oh my goodness, he's got a knife hand.
Now, how's about a big hug for your old pal Merle?
Called it. Shit. It's Merle with that new group. I guess he must be. So if Merle's with him, they've got to be a bunch of arseholes, right? I suppose I've got a new character to hate again.
Hold that.
Wait. Are these good people?
Why are we being held here?
Oh, please be good people.
We want to leave.
You're not well enough. You see my brother?
Not for a long time.
Makes two of us.
He went back for you. Am I, Rick? You were already gone.
Well. Not all of me. Yeah, Rick. He's that prick that cuffed me to the rooftop.
Because you was acting like a complete and utter knobhead.
Amy,
Your sister. She was a good kid. I'm sorry to hear it.
Jeez, Merle's showing a soft
there
side.
were a lot more. We had to leave Atlanta. We wound up on a farm. Daryl stepped up. Became a valued member of the group.
Yes, he did.
No, he's dead.
No.
I don't know that for sure.
Welcome to Woodbury.
Woodbury. They've actually got a city.
Food, water, fresh clothes. Hope this works.
I think Andrea may have just landed on her feet. And Michonne.
How many of you escaped?
There was 10 in my group. We got maybe 60 miles from the post before getting jammed up on the highway. I took the bird up in the air to scout ahead.
Let me go find the rest. Bring them here, they'll be safe. Tell me where they are, and I promise, if they're still alive, I'll bring them in.
I don't know whether to trust him. He's coming across as somebody who's helping out, but I've got this nagging feeling in the back of my head that he's not what he appears. Maybe it's just the show that's done this to me.
Sorry, Governor.
Maybe I've wasted my time with you. Maybe I haven't learned anything at all. Tell me about the girl.
Name's Andrea.
She know your brother? Daryl?
Yeah, she did.
Then talk to her again. See what else you can find out.
Take away their ability to eat, they lose interest in doing so. Can be in their presence without threat. They become docile, in a sense.
Oh my word.
Docile.
Why keep them?
Repellent.
Repellent.
Camouflage. Walk with the biters. They think you're a biter. Low profile. That's smart.
So they're using them as a stealth tool. Michonne's clever.
If they're not eating, why don't they starve?
They are starving. They just do it slower than we do.
Feels like we're trying to impose logic on the chaos.
That is not a bad thing.
No, but what does it buy us? More questions, more theories, no answers. It's a sense of purpose. We're a community.
With a lot of guns and ammunition.
Never hurts.
And really big walls.
And men willing to risk everything to defend them. Compromise our safety. Destroy our community. I'll die before I let that happen.
Was that a threat?
And give this a day or two, that's all I'm asking. Some time to get our shit together.
My shit never stopped being together.
Didn't look that way when Milton asked about your walkers. I'm surprised he didn't get a fork in his eye.
It's none of his damn business.
Those walkers were with us all winter long, protecting us, and you took them out without any hesitation. That had...
It was easier than you think.
So I'm guessing they were people she knew, maybe family members.
We found your guy, Wells. Lieutenant Wells? His chopper went down.
Well, where is he?
We got a little settlement. Now he's badly hurt.
They found Wells. They got him. They found him.
We sure did. We found you too.
I knew I didn't fucking trust him. He's taken out rival groups. He doesn't want anyone to threaten them, does he? Or anyone that can overthrow his power or challenge it. There's looking out for your group, and then there's just blatantly murdering people who aren't a threat.
I promised I'd bring him back here alive. But they didn't have our walls. Or our fences. Fighters got there before we did. The men had
Bullshit.
trucks, the trucks had weapons, food, medicine, things we need.
So what's your real name? If it's not asking too much.
I never tell.
Never say never.
Oh, Andrea, you're falling for it.
Never.
What the fuck? Oh, that was that chopper pilot's head in the top one, wasn't it? The fuck? Why the fuck is he collecting heads? So there we have it, episode 3, and I think that is the first time we've had an episode without Rick in it, or the main group. Like, that took me by surprise a little bit. I suppose last episode we had no Michonne or Andrea, so they decided to focus on them this episode. Not that I'm complaining, it's good to learn a bit more about our other characters, especially Michonne, considering she was only really introduced to us in 2 previous scenes, and we learn a little bit of backstory with her, and the fact that maybe those 2 zombies that she was carrying about with them, who incidentally were pack mules for carrying stuff around, and they were also like some sort of camouflage, having them around seemed to shield or make the other zombies not see the humans hiding beneath them. Maybe the smell, maybe something or other just blocks them smelling the humans, and they just walked right by them. So if that works, I guess they could use that to their advantage in the future as well. But the main gist of the episode was all about Andrea and Michonne going into a new town called Woodbury, apparently, that is run by the governor. That's all we know. We don't know his proper name. He's just known as the governor. And the fact he's hiding his name is devious in its own right, and that's part of the reason why I didn't trust him. But it wasn't just that. It was the fact this guy was doing good that I sort of didn't trust him. That says a lot about the world that these people are living in and the world that I see when I watch this show. But my mistrust was well placed because, well, he's got a load of fish tanks full of heads. Why the hell is this guy keeping heads in fish tanks? Maybe that whole scene was just for us as the viewer to see visually that this guy isn't someone that you want to be around, or he's not someone you can trust, and he's got a bit of a screw loose. From what I took away from this episode, his whole motive seems to be to keep his group or himself as the leader of that area and that group, because as soon as he knew there was another group of men who could challenge his power, or maybe bring some different politics into the group and maybe challenge his position, then he just dispatched of them. He killed them, he took their stuff, he took their weapons, he took their vehicles. He wasn't even going to give them a chance. I mean, there's not much you can take from first impressions, especially with an army group like that, who you see for like 2 seconds. You have to make a split decision if they're good or bad. But they're National Guard, you've got to assume they're good people. They're the army, you know, they're there to take care of people. They could be rogue, they could not be, but he just took care of them. He killed them outright, and like I say, took their stuff. He's now going to use it. He lied to the people in the town, saying that they died by walker bites and that they got overrun. And the sad thing is, Andrea seems to be buying into the whole spiel he's been spitting out, that it's a new start, it's a new place. And on the surface it does look like that, you know. It's a beautiful town, a beautiful city. There's people about. There was even at one point I saw a family with a kid walking a dog. It's like, when have you ever seen that in this whole series? And when did you expect to see it in this series? I certainly didn't expect to see that ever again. Like a clean street, families. It must be really attractive, you know, especially to someone like Andrew who's been on the road in the dirt, been sick. She comes to this place, they've got a hospital, the streets are clean, they've got food, they've got beds, they've got clean clothes, they've got water, they've got security. Of course you're going to buy into the ideal. And maybe you could argue that it's good that this governor guy is just taking care of this city, you know, and he's only letting in certain people. But the thing is, if that scene at the end there wasn't enough to give us a clue that this guy was bad, he's taken it into his own hands that these people should die, people that could potentially threaten his leadership, which sort of makes him a dictator, you know. He obviously wasn't democratically elected. He had a group of men, he took charge, and he's looking out for the people. If he's doing a good job looking out for the people, which he seems to be, fair enough, but he just went out and murdered all those National Guard guys, and he even beheaded the guy that he rescued from the chopper. He saved him, then killed him. But obviously he has bad intentions in mind. What they are, I do not know at this point. Why did he allow Andrea in and Michonne? How does he select the people that he lets in and the people he don't? If they're men, does he not let them in? Does he just instantly kill them? Is he only allowing women in so he can have his own way and maybe try and repopulate the earth like some, you know, you hear about these cult leaders that have like 100 wives and so many children, and they're the lord, they're the king of their cult. So maybe he's a cultist, maybe this is his world, maybe he doesn't want no threat, no even air of rebellion against his authority. It really is a tough one, because there seems to be some benefits to the way he's running stuff, but he obviously has bad intentions at heart. Also, this episode, Merle returned. Even though I talked about it in the recap, that Merle could be the one peeping in the bushes, I guess he wasn't then, because he is with this group, unless this group is currently spying on Rick's group, trying to gauge the defences and stuff to take their weapons and their supplies, you know, to bolster their own. It could still be them, I don't know. And I have to say as well, I was a bit surprised with the way Merle showed a bit of heart in this episode. He always came across, well, for the whole 10 seconds that I knew him in season 1, that he was a cold, just evil, racist SOB, you know, there was no good parts about him, but he showed a bit of warmth towards Andrea, and yeah, that took me by surprise. Also, he asked Andrea about Daryl again, and the fact Daryl's alive. So if he finds out Daryl is alive, he'll probably go after him to get his brother, but the thing is, the governor was asking about Daryl as well. So is there something Daryl knows, or maybe he just knows Merle is looking for Daryl, so he was just asking about Daryl? But Daryl might have some bigger part to play in the story, maybe? Something else that surprised me this episode with Merle was the fact that he seemed to be very, I don't want to say afraid, but in a sort of sense he was afraid of the governor. When the governor started speaking to him, he sort of cowered a bit, you know, when the scientist guy and Merle was having a bit of an argument. He stepped in, he talked him down, you know, and he sort of cowered as he was speaking to him. So has he seen the governor do stuff which frightens him? Which wouldn't surprise me, let's be honest, because he had a bunch of heads in fish tanks, for God's sake. And that actually reminds me of Futurama, but not in a good way. But that was about it. Merle returned. I was, in the moment, I was sort of happy to see an old character back, but then I remembered how much of an arsehole he was, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe I don't want him back. And then we were introduced to the governor, and he welcomed Michonne into his own city. But the summit tells me that even if they took him up on his offer and left with their weapons, he wouldn't allow them. I think he was just saying that to be sort of sly with it and to keep him there. The big question now, of course, is will Rick's group come across Merle's group or the governor's group, and they'll clash at some point? I do not know. Maybe Rick's group will go out on a scouting mission, they'll bump into them and stuff will go down. Maybe Rick will liberate that city, but who knows? I can't wait to find out. This is going to be an amazing season, I know it. It's been so far so good. I've enjoyed every moment. Interesting characters being introduced to us. This new governor character seems really interesting. He seems very charismatic on the surface, but I think deep down he's a bit sinister and he's a bit of a narcissist. But we'll find out. I don't know well enough yet. Maybe he has proper motives for killing those soldiers, who knows. Let's leave it there. Thank you for watching as always, guys, and until next time, bye bye. Thank you for watching Season 3 Episode 3 of The Walking Dead with me. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like as it helps my channel out immensely. Also, if you want to comment below with your theories, your discussion, but please, no spoilers. If you want to keep up to date with everything with the channel, then you can follow me on Twitter @TVandme Reacts, or you can subscribe to the channel.